morning and welcome back after yesterday's day trip back to the conference. This morning we have Raju, who will speak about introduction to the Debian packaging environment. Now Raju has been to 3 or 4 Debian conferences but is not yet a Debian developer, but I'm sure that he will give an excellent talk on setting up the Debian packaging system. Over to you, Raju.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome after a tiring day trip yesterday. We have, so this talk, when I proposed, it's supposed to be a supplement to the existing documentation for Debian packaging. The specific part around setting up the development environment for packaging. So it's aimed at like absolute beginners. So, but I see a lot of DDs here, so hopefully I'll do well. So basically, so what we are going to do through this talk is, when someone new wants to start packaging, what is the development environment they need, and these are the different ways in which they can set it up. And we'll try to set some of these things up. So we'll probably do option 2, 3, 4, and 5. Systemd and spawn, I have tried. I was not able to do it properly myself. So maybe next time. Direct or bare metal install, I'll also show that. So to begin Debian packaging, you can probably see maybe, no, here. So you need a proper Debian unstable environment. And what we mean by Debian unstable is the Debian SID, it's not a release, but where packages are being uploaded very often. From there, packages migrate to testing, and from testing, the whole testing freezes and becomes stable. So yeah. Let's try some of these. Alexi. So the three of the, so some apart from Alexi is also containers. So most of these are containers we will be running, apart from chroot, which is kind of a jail, but yeah, different. So let's try. So I tried giving a demo in one of the previous talks here, and my demos sometimes during the talks don't come out very well. The demo codes usually are not very well with me. So what I usually do is, this time what I did, I recorded my sessions. So let's try playing them. Which one we are doing? Chroot. No, not chroot. Probably we should do first Alexi. Yeah. So I'll put this besides the wiki. So probably you'll get the steps. We are not running Ubuntu, but if you're running, you're probably not running this old Ubuntu. So on the newer Ubuntu, just installing the latest Alexi should be fine. Then we need to install all these dependent packages. The terminal recording might be a little slow. Yeah, so I'll stop this recording. It's going too slow. So once these containers are created, you can, whenever you need to do any packaging work, you can just do sudo Alexi start. And the name that you gave while creating the Alexi container, which you need to give around here. Okay, so because the container is already started, I didn't shut down it previously. So you just need to do LXC attach. And you're in your packaging environment. You are required to create an additional user. Let's see if I have already. Yeah, so I could just do, because while doing packaging, you need to be doing it as a normal user and not as a root user. So then you are ready to start your packaging work here. So this is just with LXC. Now let's try something else, maybe virtual machines. So a lot of us, when they start packaging, they start with, let's say, VirtualBox, install Debian on it. Their base machines usually are probably OS X or Windows because they are coming from a different platform, usually. So what they do is they install VirtualBox, and then what you can do is you can install a Debian ISO, download the Debian ISO, and then install it, and then do some changes in the sources.list file. Basically, you just need this one line, not the lines below, in order to start. So you change your sources.list file, you do an apt update and a dist upgrade. But what you can also do is, instead of installing it via VirtualBox, you make your life easy, make your job easy using Vagrant. So you install these tools as well, and then you choose a directory. So what I did was, I had a Vagrant file. I made a separate package, a separate directory. Then I need to add my current user to the libvirt user. I make a temporary directory. In my case, we have done it called depconf demo packaging. Then Vagrant init Debian testing 64, whatever the so this is just like Docker containers. This is a image file which will be pulled from a repository. So maybe I should show, because I have already done it. It would, but just to run it, because it already exists. Now I can just do Vagrant up, and because it's already there, I can do Vagrant SSH, and I'm in the packaging environment. Whatever I want to do should be possible here in terms of packaging. So because I have already installed this, this is there. Yeah. The other very popular option that I used a lot during when I used to do packaging is LXC. So I'll just do it live. So you need to do this networking setup, which I have already done. So you'll just see the status. It's running. So the name which we are giving for the packaging container, the release. It should probably, and it's already exists. Let's try another one, maybe Debian said 1. Depending on your network speed and your computer resources, it might take some time. Probably it's just not giving me the correct network. Okay, let's try again. It says already exists. Okay, I am not so sure why the network is not working at the moment. Okay, we'll start the one which I already have. What you do is you do lxcls, and then it shows the containers which are already there, and then you can start the container. It might already be started. Yeah, it's already running. So you just do lxc attach. And you are in your container. And you also need to like create a normal user here. Yeah, and then you can work from there. So lxc is done. Docker. Networks. Let's say, yeah, okay. So with Docker, just use the default package. A lot of beginners, what they do is they go to Docker's website and they follow the install steps there and install Docker from Docker's repository. But Docker is fully packaged in Debian, and you can directly install with the docker.io package. Same goes with if you are on a Debian derivative like Ubuntu or any other derivative, you can just do apt install docker.io, and it should install Docker properly for you. You don't need to pull it from Docker's repositories. Some people, what you can, there are some containers which are made which has the build dependencies and the default packaging required packages, preferably for JS and Ruby, because that is what this team usually works on. So you can also pull that package. In my case, I have already done it, but just to implement it here. Yeah. And then you can start an extra container, but because I already have set another container, then I'll just do set2, and we are in the container, and you can start your packaging work here. Next time when you want to get back to that container, you can just do docker start set2, and then you do docker attach set2, the package, the container name. These steps. So all these different methods are fine. But the best way to work is having a base Debian machine with that unstable environment. So the machine that I'm working on is Debian unstable. You can install Debian testing, download the testing ISO, then update it, change the sources.list file, which is usually here. Then you just need to have this one line. That you're seeing in the first one. The below ones are not required for you. I just did it to use apt with tar. And then you can just do sudo apt update and upgrade, and you should be fine. Ideally, it should just need to show you that your machine is Debian. Yeah, it shows the next release name, but it should be unstable in your sources.list file. Another hack that you can do, because a lot of time you are building packages, you are downloading packages, it pulls up a lot of the package files, and it does that multiple times, also during your package builds. So you can use this package called apt Cache Rng. What it basically does is it creates a local repository on your machine, and whenever you are downloading packages, it caches those packages on your local system. So when you're building packages, if the same package is getting downloaded multiple times, it would cache them, and the builds would be much, much faster. And in your containers or in your LXC containers, you can just set it up to point to the host machine in the sources.list file. So for instance, you can look at the setup. What you just need to do is whatever your host machine IP is, you just point to it in the sources.list file with the port number 3142, something like this, and you would be able to use it. You could also use this in a network, like if you have multiple machines in your network and you have one machine, you can set up one machine as your package cacher, and then your package builds would be much, much faster. Yeah, so those were the steps, those were the different builds that we wanted to cover. LXC, Docker, virtual machine. Yeah, and direct and bare metal install. Some people also are using WSL, but I have never tried it because I'm not on Windows. Yeah. Any questions? This was just a supplement to this documentation. I hope it helped. If there are any questions, then that's it. Yeah, thank you.
Can you hear me? Okay.
No.
First, thank you for your talk. Sorry. I do use Docker for building, and so that's fine, but the only thing which gets in the way to some extent, it's a requirement to have it in a privileged mode. So do you think there is a way to do that without privileged mode? Because on some machines...
Could you repeat? I can't hear some words clearly. Maybe increase the mic volume?
Okay, so basically my question is it possible to build in Docker without being in privileged mode?
Some parts do require, when building the packages, it does require privileged mode. So I'm not so sure. I have not tried it without the privileged mode. We have tried building packages. It fails the builds a lot of times. So if you are worried about the privileged mode, probably Docker might not be a good option. You could also try something like Podman, or just use LXC or LXT.
Yeah, so my concern is, in theory, there should be no need for privileged mode because we just build software, right?
Yeah.
So it does not look as a hard requirement, and that's why, given all the perks of Docker, that's I think on machines where I don't have that possibility to run it on privileged mode, that gets in the way. So I'm kind of just...
just for packages, just for libraries, it was not required. But when I was trying to build packages as well as some ISOs, because I was working on the installer and the Debian ISO sometimes, it does require privileged mode for me. But for just libraries, it would not require. So, yeah, your assumption is correct.
Okay, good, thank you.
Yeah. Dashmir.
Hi, I saw you using LXC containers. Have you ever tried LXD? LXD is like a framework for managing LXC containers, similar to what Vagrant is for VirtualBox.
I have tried LXD. I have not used it for packaging yet. I was looking at the LXD documentation on Ubuntu's website, and we have been lazy enough to not to document it here yet. Once we do that, I'll cover that as well. Yeah. It seems very much nicer compared to bare-bone LXC. Here we have to do a lot of manual stuff. LXD seems like just like using Docker or a Podman shell. Yeah. Thank you.